good to have a lot of help around the table.
I'm sure.
So the meeting is called to order at 5:30. This meeting is being recorded by the Agricultural Commission. If any other persons present are doing the same, you must notify the chairperson at this time. And we have someone on Zoom with us, Pamela Goodwin from Greenfield. Good evening, hello. And we have Sid.
Sid St. John, yes.
Okay.
Also from
And we
Greenfield.
have a person here in person.
Yes, I hope so.
All right, so yes, I hope, well, yeah.
Did you buy a pool for me?
Yes, I did.
Yes, okay.
All right, then here we go, yeah. So the roll, so we're called to order, the roll call of members. Greg Cootware,
Here.
Denise Leonard here, David Johnson,
Here.
Elizabeth Net here. All are present. We have a quorum, which is good because we need tonight, because we have two things to vote on.
Very good.
All right, so public comment, no discussion or comments will be entertained unless requested upon by the chairperson of the board or committee. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have the minutes. We meet every other month. So to catch us up, because it's already been 2 months, we're going to have the clerk read the minutes and refresh our memory. So here we go.
Agricultural Commission, City of Greenfield, Massachusetts, December 4th, 2024, meeting notes. Elizabeth Nett, Dave Johnson, Denise Leonard, Mayor Virginia Disorger, and Greg Cootware. Meeting called to order 5:36 on 5:36 p.m. on 12/4/24. Virginia started recording on Zoom for public viewing. Roll call, attending meeting, Elizabeth Nett, Dave Johnson, Greg Cootware, and Denise Leonard. Public comment statement made by Elizabeth. No discussion or comments will be entertained unless requested upon by the chairperson of the board or committee. Greg Cootware reads October 2nd meeting minutes accepted by Ag Committee. Motion to change agenda order accepted by Ag Committee. Citizen petition requesting change in chicken rooster keeping ordinance. Jeanette Washington and Carol Lewandowski were our guests. I should have put that on there. Regarding 452 Davis Street, Greenfield, Massachusetts, they stated they had 7 hens and 2 Bantam roosters. Property is 10 acres total, 3 acres of parsonage, 7 acres of church and parking. Mayor stated parcels are not to be combined. Farm Bureau says that this is a sensitive subject statewide. City Council meeting to decide on this petition forthcoming. 12/10/24, 6 p.m. City Economic hearing. There are lots of roosters currently in our area, so this petition will affect many people in Greenfield. Right to farm signs. Elizabeth spoke with Glenn at DPW. Need 3 signs with hardware. DPW also needs a map of proposed sign locations for installation. Conversation on combining of farms. Tabling, attending meeting. I have no idea why I put that there, but it was in my
That's
notes.
okay.
Tabling, education and support. Mayor stated she attended this meeting to support the AG Commission through Rooster issue. Mayor suggested that we attend other meetings on Rooster issue as individuals, not as commission. New city liaison for this committee to be Aaron Anholt. Meeting adjourned at 6:36 p.m.
Thank you. So do I make a motion now? I'm never good at this. Can I make a motion or you want to make a motion?
I make a
to
motion
accept the
to
minutes?
accept the minutes.
Okay.
Somebody
Who wants
has to second.
it. Okay, good. Minutes accepted.
Well, no, we have to vote.
We have to vote.
Very good form, guys. You run it well. All the open meeting laws.
Well, you know what it is, everybody pitches in and helps.
Yeah.
So let's vote to accept the minutes.
In favor?
I'm in favor.
You say all in favor, say
All in
aye.
favor- all in favor, say aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
None.
And abstentions?
Yeah.
Motion
Got
passes.
it, okay. So this meeting, what I'd like to do, I have Sid here and I have Pamela Goodwin from Greenfield that I know of that is attending. I really like to include the public.
Of course.
I think it's really important because that's why we're here.
Yeah.
So our first agenda is the right to farm signs. Okay. So take a look, if you haven't had a chance, at the price, which is new and different. Because we're gonna have 3 signs. We're not gonna have 4 because we already got one up.
Mhm.
And we want to get this rolling. Here you go. Just out of curiosity.
Thank you.
You can have that.
Sure.
I have an extra one. All right, so this is the cost, current invoice and purchase contract as well. For 3 signs.
Mhm.
It includes all the hardware, 3 signs that match the one we already have down at the Rotary.
Mhm.
We all agreed on that a few months ago. We're gonna keep that sign. We're gonna keep the hardware because DPW requested that we keep the hardware.
Mhm.
So I've ordered the hardware.
Okay.
They're gonna do the mass safe thing that they do. Dave, you probably know about that.
Regarding, I'm
Um,
not sure what you're going.
I'm going, there's a mass dig safe.
Oh, did
Yeah.
you?
I know I had it.
Estimation For, I'm
Yeah,
sure
they're
all
gonna
the proposed locations you'll have, they'll do dig safe for each of them.
Exactly, thank you.
Yeah.
Dig safe. Okay, this is what happens after 2 months, you're like,
Mhm.
dig safe. So they're gonna do dig safe, they're gonna cover that for us, had a conversation with him. I have a sense of where the signs cannot go and where they can go and what they can do, remembering we're working with Route 5 and we're working with 2A.
Mhm.
And remembering that this is a city, this is not Sunderland,
Mm.
where we can place signs beautifully. So we have to work with what we've got. So here we've got it with delivery. They're going to deliver to DPW. So this is all in one shot,
Mhm.
all in one package deal.
Very nice.
So as you look through the numbers, you take a look.
Those posts are very expensive.
Yeah, they are, but
Posts.
they've asked, DPW has asked for the posts and hardware
And
to
those
be
are the
in there
kind
and
of-
be
yeah,
delivered.
okay.
So I'm,
I mean, just,
you know,
yeah,
it-
for Ben's post is a lot less expensive.
They're
Probably
the
not.
only game in town.
Right.
so, yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're gonna move this forward and Ginny can accept it or whatever she needs to do, mayor decision.
Mhm.
So this seemed like the right way to do it. So here we go on down the line. Delivery is 25, et cetera, the bolts, you know, the uprights. I know we are all farmers of one sort or another. We have our own way of farming and doing things, but we're doing this for the city. So that's why I know how I keep my chickens. I don't have any anymore, but I know how I would have did.
Yeah.
So the total contract is $1,220.50.
Okay.
Okay, to get it all in safely.
Mhm.
So that's what we've got with the required deposit and then the final balance. It looks like 2/3 and 1/3. I didn't do math, but
Mhm.
I rounded off. So, so I'm not always sure the order of things, but what I want to do is have a discussion on this. If that comes first. All right, so let's have a little discussion because we've got some agenda to cover. How are we feeling about this?
I think we should go ahead.
Okay, so you're a go.
Yeah.
All right, how do you feel about it, Dave? You still reading?
I'm fine with it. Still, we're looking at an April or May installation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we are, but time goes fast, so
Sure.
we want to get it rolling and get it off the agenda and get it moving and get Ginny to have time to work with it and, anyone else is here to help us. Yeah, we are, but it will be there because our next meeting is in April. So so let me know how you feel when you're feeling like you want to, okay, all right. I'm fine with that. I'm happy with this number. I don't, I see it as a fine way to do it. What do you think, Greg?
Okay.
Good, okay, so, all right, and all in favor of accepting this purchase contract to be sent on to the mayor?
One question.
Yes,
Who signs for the Right to Farm Commission? Is the mayor?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah,
I do have a quick question. Do you have tentative locations in mind for the sign?
yes, we're gonna discuss that next.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. All right. Not yet. We do, I just
They're
got,
all gonna be in front of my farm.
Oh, really? Very nice.
I was hoping we would be able, when we got to that intersection, to take a right on Adams Road instead of a left on two-way, but I couldn't get them to agree to that.
Yeah.
So that being said. All right, so all in favor of accepting this to move on to the mayor? Say aye.
Aye.
Greg, are you in favor of moving on?
Yeah.
Aye, okay, so unanimous vote.
So I'll bring this to her and make note of your approval for it. And then
Yes.
right when I get the response, I'll just email you letting you know that. everything's
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Good.
So that takes care of that. Thank you, everyone. And I'm just giving you this. It's just little information, but it's nice to know.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how long it's been since there haven't been right to farm signs at the major entries to our
But we
city.
never had, should we just add that one down?
You ever had the one? Yeah, Denise has been here like 10 times as long as I have. Somebody's
For the
emailing me
motivation.
something. All right, very good. Excellent. One down. Okay. So I'm gonna have public comment and we have Anthony, good. We have Pamela and Anthony and we have Sydney. And if you have a comment to make about purchasing these signs, can you share that with us now? Pamela?
No, mine is on the other issue on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Anthony?
No, I'm just here to observe.
Thank you. I'm happy to have you both here. So Sid, what do you think?
Seems wonderful. I'm excited to hear
Okay, I
about where.
guess all is good. So this is done. Now, well, the next thing we have to do is the placement of 3 signs. So I sort of gave everyone a heads up by email that we were going to do that tonight. So, yeah,
As I drive up Route 5 to go to the bakery, I noticed the Right to Farm sign at the Berniston line. It'd be really nice to put ours on the other side as you come into Greenville, the line.
okay.
I feel
So
that
where,
may not be a possibility.
I don't think it will be. So where do you
How
want
did
to start?
Berniston get it there, though?
So where do you want to start? Do you want to start at the Bernardston line on Route 5?
I think that would be nice to have.
All right, let's
Theirs
start-
goes into.
Let's
Berniston.
start there.
And if we can't put it there,
We
we'll
can't
have to
put
move it.
there. We can't put it there. When I went to the DPW, I saw one of the engineers, I can't
Mhm.
remember his name, but I saw him. Glenn, thank you. I saw Glenn, he came right up, very good, had a wonderful, meeting.
Yeah.
And apparently on Route 5, I think Dave was saying this, correct me if I'm wrong, but the state owns on Route 5 from Bernardston coming into town, the state owns all the way to almost the intersection of Silver Street.
Wow.
That's what I was told. Yes, wow. That's what I was told. I'm going to go back to DPW. Anyone is welcome to come with me to bring this information to them because they want to know where we want them, but it's more where can we put them?
Right.
So that's what he said. So think about that location, pop it up on your map. I'm gonna say I'd like to have it as close to the town line, the state
Yeah.
and the town, as is possible. It's a very crowded situation.
The simple point we could all do, who plows Berniston Road?
Well, they told me, they didn't tell me who plowed it. They
Well, that
told
would
me-
be that would be who's in charge of it.
Right, well, they told me where the state line was.
Right, well, I know where the state line is going into Berniston.
Yeah,
Coming back into Greenfield, wherever the state is maintaining the road and plowing, which is
Right.
the criteria. I think I said it way back. We gotta make sure we're going to the right agency to put in the signs. And if we
Yeah.
want to have it, only if we want to have it where Berniston Road is being maintained by the city.
right, right.
So I
That
guess-
isn't much of it.
So, no, there's not much of it. So what I'm saying is, I can take this information back to the engineers or, down there and give it to them and say, this is what we have discussed. We don't have to vote on it tonight if you don't want to. But this is what we can't get the signs in anyway. But if somebody wants to come along, please let me know, because there's something that Dave has to say that you might want to interject when we're talking.
All
to
they
the
have to do
engineer.
is tell us
He
who's in
told-
charge
Yeah, he told me.
of Berniston Road from the Berniston line.
Mhm.
I would guess at least to where Route 2 meets and probably as far as Four Corners School.
Yeah, it's somewhere there. It's close to it's close to Silver Street.
That would be,
And the engineer
yeah,
was the one who told me that. The DPW engineer came up and told me that.
yes.
Well, I would suggest that what we do is get them as close to the town line as we can.
That's what I want.
Under, where it's under the
DPW.
purview of.
Yes, coming in. I also want to make sure that Dave has his question answered about the plowing, because we've talked about that for, I don't know how long.
Well, plowing and maintenance determines who's doing it. I mean,
Well, they're doing it. They're doing
the
it.
state.
No. The town is putting in the signs.
No, who plows and maintains?
Oh, I didn't ask who plowed and maintained. I
Well,
just,
that would be who's in charge of that section of road.
okay.
I mean,
I didn't
I
ask. I
could
was
be
just thinking.
oversimplifying it, but it would seem to me, and I wish I knew the answer, but I really don't. How
Let's come up
far
to the-
down Route Berniston Road
Yeah,
does the state plow come, and how far down Berniston Road does the maintenance crew in the summer?
so what, my suggestion is, I got the information, from the engineer, and that's where I came up with that determination. There's another part of the question. So I would suggest if you wanted to go down to DPW and ask them that, then we would have the answer, because we're not going to vote on this tonight if we don't have something I can give them.
There's a vernacular term called the pissing contest. And I don't know, neither one of the agencies, state or the city.
Yeah.
Want to give up their power
Oh,
or their,
understood.
and that is the issue. If we go up to the north end of town and have the DPW put in a sign and it's state road,
They're not going to do that.
well, they're not going to do it, but the state is going to go ballistic for someone overstepping bounds.
Well, I will go back. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go back and I'll talk to the engineers again
And see,
and make sure that things are clear where this line
Yeah,
is between the state and.
I almost think, and
Let me put
God, I
my
don't
notes
like
in
saying it, the state may control it right down to Four Corners at the lights.
I think that might be.
And it's right around that area that
Right.
cleansed
Where
this
is Four
land.
Corners at?
Okay, where Federal Street
Yeah.
and Silver Street meet, there's a school.
Yeah, yeah.
Four Corners School.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
didn't know that's what the
Yeah.
name of the school was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because, all right, so I will go back and say, this is what we propose, but we haven't voted on it yet because we need to vote on
Because
it.
according to Google Maps, city property goes all the way to the two. I mean, so far as what they show as city maintained property,
All the way to
Where
Route
did
Two.
you find
And
that?
that's still only a couple hundred yards
Google Maps,
from the school.
yes.
So anyway, so that's.
Now, there is another little section that says on the other side, but it's kind of like an island. It's marked as city established.
Maintained.
So my guess is that they're plowing those roads that are in there, those little residential roads.
Probably.
With the side streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
There's one, were we gonna do?
there's one. Now, the one on the other end of this. So we're not.
Down by the bridge.
We're not too much in agreement. I mean, we've got some questions, so let's leave that. And I want people to go to DPW and get the information themselves rather than, I mean, I'll go, but if somebody would come or call or just do their own visit, it'd be good. So we're going to go all the way down through town. And
The
now,
Cheapside Bridge.
we're-
Cheapside Bridge.
yeah, now we're going to go down there. So there's the bridge, right?
And again,
Greenfield, it's Greenfield. And he told me, the engineer, this is all what the engineer told me.
Mhm.
When you go over that bridge, we know Deerfield, Greenfield, that's where it is. And as you go down, that's not that big of a deal, but it's as you come up into Greenfield becomes the big deal. There's a space here of land that there are signs on.
Yeah, that triangular piece, yeah.
Yes,
sure.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
There is also, because I parked my car and I got out and I walked it. There's also, because the sidewalks come up like boom. So there's a space, there's more space on the right-hand side that there are signs on that we could put the sign
On the
up.
north side.
Yes. Yeah, heading into town from Deerfield.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's where you would want to put it.
And that's right at the
Yeah,
line, pretty much.
Yeah.
it is, but there's a space where there's grass.
Mhm.
And he mentioned that to me. He
Okay.
said there's,
Well, that's where you go to Bingville.
yeah, this is, I know it's inundated with signs, but we live in a city and we need to get the sign up and we have to work with what we. So as you go beyond that, then you start getting into the
Buildings.
sidewalk, the buildings and no grass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So somewhere, either on the triangle or in this little space that we have available to us, is really the only place that we can put the sign. Because
Yeah, you're getting
there's no other
into,
place to put it. I mean, we want to announce to people we have the right to farm.
So however you gotta do it.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
however we can do it and continue to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how does that one sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, all right, so that's good. There's a little question about snow plowing up
And maintenance.
burden.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like I said, I just went by what the engineer told. But I'm happy if, we can bring back more information. Maybe for our next meeting, we can put that on, be clear on it and vote on it.
there is a sign that's on that highway there. It's probably 200 yards north, farther down the way. In front of those apartments there, that.
Yeah, the new condos or whatever. Yeah.
And it's right there and it says this is the end of state maintenance.
I'm sure you're
But
right.
it's that far down.
It is.
It's not close to the line. It's
As close
it's at
as
least
we
250
So-
250 yards down.
Okay, so this needs to not be voted on tonight, but just discussed.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got those. I'm gonna put,
I don't know if they turn their plows around at the bridge or. I
I'll
don't
have to
know
go
what they
back to
do, but-
DPW. Anyone?
The only
well,
thing I know, Greg,
Please
is
go.
don't get in the middle of a,
I agree.
To Glenn specifically
I'm
and
sorry.
facilitate a meeting, I'd be happy to do so. If you want me to reach out to him and I can organize.
I would love you to do that.
Yeah.
I would love you to do that because I want these signs to go up in the right place and stay there. We'll get it done right.
Sounds good. I'll reach. out to him.
Yes. Perfect. Okay.
Could you include me on that?
Of course,
Yeah, let us all know.
Yes, please.
Please. Thank you so much.
no problem.
All right, so we've got that. So Pamela, you have anything to say about this, where we're putting the right to farm signs at all?
Well, my experience in the past would have been the yardage is what matters. How far back, when it's state versus town, but that's a separate issue. So I think that's what you're gonna figure out is like,
Yeah,
what's
that's
the
what,
yardage that it can be set back? Cause I've had signs removed and taken away and it wasn't a pretty picture. And you do
okay,
wanna
so I'm gonna
keep that.
write that down, setback. Especially,
The DPW knows that.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume,
State.
I'm going to make the assumption that our DPW knows that.
Yeah,
The engineers know that. I'm going to make that assumption. But we can go back. Again, we're not going to vote on it tonight. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. So what do you think, Sid? You have a comment?
Is there a third one you were talking about?
We
Yes.
have,
Yes.
Should be on the
Yes.
2, right?
Yeah.
And if you
Yes.
look at the map here, 2 and 5 are really close together.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
that's the essence of Greenfield.
So it looks like the city maintenance area is that first intersection between Silver and Stop and Shop.
No, you're over on High Street now.
Yeah,
We're getting away from Route 5 now?
yeah, we're getting away from Route 5.
High Street.
What we're doing is
There
we're,
are a number of signs on High Street after you come off of Route 2.
So where was our third sign go?
We were talking about High Street.
Route 2A or 2 or?
Yeah, that's High
Yeah.
Street.
Okay,
right.
any place from Factory Hollow is the first street coming into Greenfield.
Factory Hollow, yes. I know somebody who lives there. That's in
Right.
Greenfield Street. So our supposition was that we would stay on, we would go from Turner's right over past Factory Hollow Road, take our first left, AKA 2A, I call it Route 2A.
Yep.
And that goes down by Stop and Shop. So there is a section there where we have signs that have been placed by the city. And you probably know this really well.
Yeah.
And what the engineer said is he could place it there.
Would be good.
And of course, we have signs, so it's placed at an appropriate place.
Mhm.
They do have them spaced out so you can see them. So I said, okay, I will write it.
Yeah, Factory Hollow is way down in the state area. Yeah,
Factory
it's
Hollow
about
is-
where the laundromat
I lived in.
is where the, the village shop wall,
Area.
laundromat, and across
Well,
the
I have-
street's that puppy parlor, dog grooming.
Okay.
You've already gone past Shop and Stop.
I know,
But there are
Stop and-
signs further north.
yeah.
Yeah, there are. This is
A
not,
mile top.
this is not very much of an issue.
No.
Coming in here is not much of an issue.
Okay.
And the great thing, because they take care of dig safe and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
I'm
can
just,
vote on- we can
What I was
vote on
saying
this.
was there is the only thing we have to pay attention to is having where the city can put it
Yeah.
along that route too.
Exactly. That's why I went to the city.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So we already know that we've got one at the Rotary. Though that may be a question, Ginny did concur with us. Let's just keep it there and we'll do 3 signs. So this is the
Take
way.
down the sign that's in front of it, blocks it.
You know how long I
Blocks
live?
it.
I live like a half a mile away from the Rotary.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how many times I missed that sign?
Oh,
It's not even funny.
You cannot see it.
It's not even funny. And we're gonna leave it there
You're
and
moving.
just do this the best way we can. Would I like to move it? Sure, I'd like to move it. Am I gonna move it? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's gonna stay there. As long as we work in it and keep our commission going and people know that we're here. And that's why I'm so pleased to see Pam and Anthony's here and you're here. I'm so pleased. It takes a while for it to catch on that we're big. So let us vote next time. So the next meeting is April, the first Wednesday in April. I don't know the date.
Believe it.
We've identified
April-
3 possible places to put it. Would it not be a good idea to go to the DPW and say exactly where these would be on these roads?
Well, I would like to, but I thought
No, but
Oh.
they know where they can put them.
they know where they can put them. They already told.
And we should,
But they requested us to give them maps.
Yes, they requested us to have a discussion. All right, so what would you, so what do you, so
They
what
want
do
us to
you
give them
propose to do?
paperwork.
It's the blind leading the.
Denise, what would you like to do? Would you like to make a motion to?
I'm just thinking if they want, if they know where they can put them,
Yeah,
we would like them as close to the town line as they can put them.
I agree.
And that would be fine with me.
That, I would agree with that.
So
So
that's
shall
why
we-
I asked to be involved in it. That's exactly what I was gonna ask him to do.
Okay.
You guys really need maps or can you just put them close as you can?
Well, I need to know when I go down there, you know, what we decided on. So
That would be.
can I
fine.
make a motion?
Yeah.
You can make as many motions as you want.
All right. A motion. I'd like to make a motion. So may I at this time make a motion that we have the signs put as close to the city and the state, obviously on the city side, as is safely possible.
And include the town lines
Yes, the town,
as
the
beginning
city.
points.
I'm calling the town city now. Okay, yeah, at the line, yeah. I'm not, okay, I'm happy to do that. Because I see it, I've gotten out, I've walked it, you know, I mean, I might even go, I mean, they know their streets. I mean, I can go out and take a picture and say, here. We have very limited land. And
Right,
You're
so,
right, especially coming into Greenfield on Route 5 from the state
Yeah,
or where Route 2 crosses.
yeah,
Lord knows how many signs there are. Welcome
right.
to Greenfield. this,
Just-
that. And it's pretty congested housing.
okay, so,
I second your motion.
okay. All in favor of,
I,
thank you, I don't have to finish my statement. Thank you, all
So
right,
I'll reach out to Glenn. Is there days, times that work best?
nope.
Yeah, sounds good.
You know, get in touch with them, let us know. I would
Yeah.
love to go with you,
Sounds good.
go with if I can. I can't go on Monday mornings
Okay, sounds good.
at all, forget it. It's like Denise, she's got a picture. There's just certain times, but I would like to go with you and I would like everyone to come if they
yeah,
could.
let me know if I can come.
I would love to have us all there. Okay, great, okay.
189 Wall Street.
At the intersection of Wells and Allen. Down by Foster's Marketplace.
Okay.
Yellow on it.
Okay.
It's an enormous building.
Now, how have I missed it? I don't know.
Well, you see what you expect to see, I guess. I missed it for years until I had to go down there
See
and
what you wanna
find
see?
the new office. I was stalking on.
Actually, I met.
All right. So we voted that this is what we're gonna do. Matt, thank you. Let us know. We'll go
Okay.
down. It'd be great to have us all there.
Okay.
In person if we could. Now, the next thing is the setting the time limit on discussions at meetings. Can I table that for now?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm looking at the clock and I'm interested in staying on time, but being able to have public input.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm really interested in that. I really want to cover, if I could please, the citizen petition. We're going way back into December. So the citizen petition brought forward by the individual who had a rooster complaint. And his petition was to change the zoning in town. He was hoping to change the zoning in town. I can't read the petition here because I don't have it with me. Denise and I physically attended the meeting. And we both got up and we spoke. So if you could briefly synopsis that meeting where we were both at, you could take care of it because I basically said the same thing.
Right. I think we both got up and said that we were members of the Agricultural Commission. We were there to help deal with things of this matter. And that I specifically said, now I had also, just sort of a preview, talked to the Farm Bureau, Mass Farm Bureau about this. Because there are zoning laws, there are Massachusetts zoning laws that you cannot zone roosters out of acreage of 5 acres or more. However, it's a rather tricky subject.
Yes.
So we spoke and we said that there is an ordinance on the book that says you may not have roosters on less than 5 acres. Which should be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, it's the ordinance, it's on the book.
Right.
That's it.
Somebody needs to make sure that happens. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so if somebody has a rooster complaint,
Yeah.
what are the appropriate authorities?
Well, we know that they go to Michael Thoreau because he came to visit us. Michael, if there are any animal complaints, agricultural animal complaints or any agricultural complaints, you would go to Michael Thoreau,
Who
right?
is- I'm sorry.
The health director.
The health
Remember we
director.
put our
Okay,
signs
right,
up?
right.
Okay.
Sorry.
So start with him and he divvies it out.
Okay,
But we
so-
should be made aware of
So
the,
the long and the short of it is. that
yeah, yes.
People are upset that there's roosters hanging around town, waking them up at all hours of the day.
Yeah,
And probably rightly so. But on the opposite side, anybody who has, according to the state of Massachusetts, more than 5 acres or more has the right to farm. And it's labeled the ordinance, and I'm sorry, I can't remember what it is, but I did quote it at the time. And it's normal farming practices. They had a whole list of things, and normal farming practices was listed. So my question is, if you've got an issue with this particular group, A, is it normal farming practices? You know,
yeah, it's,
and it seems it's a little bit shady there I don't mean shady
not
negative.
shady, but
It's gray. Because
it
because
is.
they have a church and they have a parsonage and in
Yeah.
my book, it's a little bit hard to farm parking lot in a church, so.
Yeah, and I know that Jenny was here and I gave her the piece of paper that Eric had given me.
Yeah.
But
She's
this
the
is
one.
what we said, both of us,
Yeah.
at that meeting, and that's basically that meeting.
Well, Jenny made a point. Yes, there's over 10 acres there. About 11 years ago, the church decided to chop those parcels up into 3 pieces. And that's where they lost their acreage.
I have a farm and it's chopped into 2 pieces.
That is an area that I'm
Because I'm on
sure
chapter 61A on part of that.
will be
They're not.
explored as far as this petition is concerned.
Okay,
Well,
just,
I'm not
She's gonna
sure.
bring it forward again.
My feeling on this petition is that somebody in the town needs to get involved with getting these 2 groups to talk to each other and work this out.
I tried that and I think
Yes.
you made.
No,
I tried it too.
I'm not talking about this group, somebody in authority. Because
Right,
they may actually be violating the ordinance that's already in the town
And the state,
and the state, and well,
5 acres. is
so
the state.
who do you think would be good people to come together? The health?
the Board of Health should probably do
And
it.
does maybe the zoning board, somebody from the zoning board?
No, the zoning board has.
No, somebody, how about?
Well, maybe the zoning board in terms of how they've got the land zoned.
Yeah, because she makes a point.
Mhm.
We're an advisory commission. We don't pass judgment or any of that. We're an advisory commission. And actually, by doing this, we would be helping them to sort out the situation, whatever it is.
Well, this is one of the, I mean,
No.
this should not have a blanket law to cover it. This should be something that's worked out. Now, if so-and-so down the road for me has got a 2-acre plot and has a rooster that's keeping everybody up at, at the break of dawn,
Then that's kind of obvious.
that's kind of obvious and the health department needs to
Right,
get involved in that. This is a little bit more complicated because they have 10 acres
Right.
Some of it's subdivided into the church
Mhm.
and parking lot and some of
Yeah.
it's,
And this is to say that.
and I don't think a blanket ordinance should be done on that.
I don't, and again, I say, a lot of people think of these terms, I think in terms of, by doing this, we're helping them helping out the people to understand, to get things straightened out, to come into compliance. Okay, because I want to see people in compliance, because I want things to be in compliance so everybody's happy and things are good.
Well, that's why people are not happy, though. The
You know.
guy who filled out the petition happens to live on Country Club Road.
Right,
And we think that's over here.
yeah.
And we think that Davis Street is over here. In reality, they abut each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
And
abutting
that's
each
where
other.
Lewandowski said something to the effect, well, they're 300 or 400 yards away. They're not 100 feet away from boundary lines. And that's where,
I would start with Michael.
well, who knows where you start with.
The
but-
state has guidelines, or the Mass Farm Bureau has guidelines
Yes.
for
Right. But
for the health departments to deal with things like
right,
this.
so I'm gonna throw this out there. Would anyone like to get together and get a hold of Michael, make an appointment with him and voice our concern about this, since he's the person?
Where is this thing sitting now in terms of what the,
What's happening now
Yeah.
is we had the second meeting, which I went to over Zoom.
right?
And in a nutshell, it was unanimously voted down.
Okay.
Unanimously voted down.
But now they're doing something else in terms of noise pollution?
I don't want to get into that yet.
Okay.
So they unanimously voted it down, not without voicing sympathy
Right.
and understanding.
Sympathy for who?
Well, the people that are complaining about roosters. Oh, well, specifically this, because this petition.
Right.
So they understand, they understand. A couple of them said, I understand. But the fact is that they went by this right to farm,
Mhm.
what they had to make a decision on. This is a gray area. We know this, but it's unanimously voted down. The petitioner can come back in March and, put forward something else.
Mhm.
But the petition as it was written up was not able to be accepted.
Yeah.
It was just too much, but he does have the right to do that.
And he should.
If he wants to,
because
if
that's
he wants
where
to,
it should
he can
go
do
to.
that. He could do that. Should some of us, does anybody think I should go? I don't mind going to see Michael or sending him an email about this. Rather than leaving him in the dark, say, hey, we had a discussion.
It's probably not a bad idea to let him know that.
Okay,
And there are, and let me look, because I can't bring it up on my phone
okay,
right now, but let me get I know I sent it out to you once before, but let me resend the information the Farm Bureau sent me.
that's great, yeah.
Yeah, and that should go to the Board of Health, because
You
that's,
say Michael, that's Michael.
Michael
Thoreau.
Thoreau, yeah, I'm sorry.
Just curious.
Michael Thoreau, the health director, because
Right.
we've already established months ago
right.
that that's his jurisdiction. So we've done our due diligence.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I always see it in support of, to help educate, so people don't get mired in mucky waters that they have to get themselves out of. That's my
Well,
goal.
it's kind of an issue, because if you get a whole bunch of supposedly pullets sexed, they're
Well-
not always sexed correctly,
No.
unless they're sex linked, and then you can
Well,
know that you got
that's
female.
a discussion that we might put on the next agenda.
Go ahead and tell that to the commission and ask them if they know what sex links means.
All right, so I guess, I don't know if I can make a motion,
don't.
that I will. So anyway, before we make motions.
Do we need a motion for that?
I don't know. I would like a discussion, if anybody, Pamela, do you have any ideas on this rooster complaint that we recently had?
Well, I have to say, as a person in the city, I'm very confused. And I side on the of the chair of the safety commission. And in my building, we have quiet hours from 10 PM to about 7 AM. And as you age, you really need to get your sleep. So I'm confused because it seems to me that it's gone from city council, then it comes over to you people, but now it's back at the director of the Board of Health. And
Yes,
so I'm trying really hard to not think everybody's passing the buck. So this
They
has been a helpful meeting for me.
yeah,
And I think he needs a lot more people signing that petition, so it's just not him and his wife, because
okay, yeah,
Counselor Bullock talks about the roosters that keep her up all night long. And, you know, I thought they were asking him to just go settle it with the other party. Well, that's easier said than done. So if you're
Yeah.
calling in a mediator, then two people have to be sit down to compromise, to come up, you know, to have a meeting of the minds. And I do not think that that's probably what's going on based on what I've heard here tonight. You know, they're going to dig in their heels. And if they are not truly the right acreage, it should be a done deal. You know, if your land
Yes.
is divided
Yeah.
up and there's an ordinance that says, then end of story as far as that goes. Get rid of your
Yes.
2 roosters or 10 or however many
Two.
that they have. And so that's kind of where I stand. And
Yeah.
I keep hearing people all the time, I don't want to hear a rooster either. So I don't think it should be thought of as one person's complaint. I think it's a lot of people's complaint. They just haven't signed the petition. And I've already sent an email off to Michael in support of it. But, you know, I'm happy to sign there somewhere because I think it's an issue, as tricky as it is. You know, this has been very helpful to know that you're strictly advisory. And so I don't think you existed, and I'm really glad that you do exist. And I believe in farming. I've had ducks and chickens and rabbits and all of it up in Charlemont, but I think it's a situation. And here's what I also heard, and then I'll shut up. I heard that we need a noise ordinance, okay? So that it could be the roosters, it could be the snow blowers, it could be the leaf blowers, it could be the fireworks. And if they're going to do that, fine, Lynette, let's do it. You know, like, but do something so it doesn't go on for months and months. And take a stand and let's do something. So it doesn't look like it's bouncing around from this person to that person. I just attended a Board of Health meeting. They've got like 2 people and the director, they're down an investigator. I mean, part of me is like, is that supposed to be the animal control officer? I don't think so. It's all of Franklin County is what that person is in charge of. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. So I'm glad you're working out something. And if it's go talk to David, then make him aware that it is his jurisdiction. I didn't know that until I heard it from you people tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what we're doing here. And yes, it has been a long thing going on.
I think that
I go to Michael Thoreau and voice this to him and say, look at this and this and this. And we've had public input, and I'm going to ask Sid in a minute, and I'm asking Anthony as well. Thank you. You know, thank you, Pam. So Anthony, I'm going to ask Anthony if he has any input. I know he's just here to observe, but to give the opportunity. Roosters crowing. Rooster noise. Yes, the noise ordinance is a separate issue. They're still working on it. That doesn't, I don't want to discuss that at this meeting. It's just that I happen to live in precinct 7.
How that affects farming.
I happen to live in precinct 7, so I've been in this precinct 7 group. More peripheral, you know, around the edges. I haven't gone to every meeting. But it's good. It's good. It's a good.
I'd like to ask a question, and maybe you know the answer.
Sounds good.
If we have an ordinance that says, thou shalt not have a rooster on less than 5 acres, who enforces that?
Michael,
Probably, yeah, Michael. and-
Okay, so that's where it needs to go.
Yeah.
it needs to go
And
to
it needs to
Michael.
go to there, and we need to stop having this.
That's what I'm
And the
saying.
church
That's
situation is
why-
a different situation completely. It's, I mean, it's.
Yeah,
That needs
that's
to
the thing
be.
that they need They
That's
need
the
to
gray
work
area
on.
they need help
We've
with.
done
But
our
the-
due diligence.
But the other roosters that are sitting around crowing, I don't care myself, but
Well, there's an ordinance that needs to be followed.
yes, there's an ordinance
Yeah,
that needs to be.
It needs to be followed, that's all.
And that enforcement is done by animal control, which is under health. the board.
Okay, okay.
That is my understanding, what I read.
So therefore, anybody who has a problem with this needs to go to the health department and animal control. And that maybe
Yeah.
should be,
And Mark Snow as well is involved in
Right.
roosters.
and maybe
without
that needs to
picking them
be made very, very public at some of these meetings. where
Yes, it
people are
does.
Complaining.
It does.
It
Because,
hasn't been made public.
No, it has not been.
And
made
this
public.
is where,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Greg, you've been to the church.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if I were to stand between the church and where the parsonage is,
Yes.
I obviously could hear the roosters.
Oh, yeah.
Off to the north, there's Crowning Shield Drive or something off from Country
You say
Club Road.
roosters, it's not just their two roosters. You can hear some roosters.
Oh,
Thank you
exactly.
very
off to the
much.
north as well.
And
Big boys. up
believe it
there.
or not, people are saying to me, I live in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And they've said down by, not back to Silver Street, but there's a couple of little enclaves of side roads off Country Club Road, and they allegedly have roosters.
So I will.
Janine lives on Gold Street. There's roosters and you can hear them in the morning.
Mhm.
So here I am standing there going, who the hell's roosters are we really upset about?
Right.
Right.
And,
Um,
the whole time I was there, and I've been there quite a bit. I've heard their roosters, but they're not really super, I mean, they're bantams.
They're bantams. That's what
They
they
don't
are.
make a lot of noise.
They crow like
Not
that.
compared to, not compared to like a leghorn
standard,
or, a- yeah. or-
But
Bantams.
keep in mind where Lewandowski's put their chickens at night
they
Yeah,
are.
they're under that porch.
Yeah.
is
They're
very close.
Line to his bedroom window.
Okay,
Yes,
so wait a second. They're put in a building at night?
Yeah.
but it's not an enclosed
All right,
building.
okay.
It's underneath the porch. It's a
Okay.
coop underneath the
So
porch.
I think we all heard.
I bought into it, hook, line, and
Different
sinker.
noise level between a bantam and a standard.
Right.
I don't,
My thing is plausibly audible, which is a different thing. We're going to talk about it at the P7 meeting. It's a little piece. It's a little piece of, and they're working on this noise ordinance. Bantams, although they sound like roosters are, and they're, now a bantam is like, because
I
I
don't know
walk,
bantams.
I walk dogs on Meadow Road. I have a dog I walk on Meadow Road.
A chicken who,
They had a standard rooster.
same shirt.
And then about a year later, I'm walking down Meadow Road with Lucy, and all of a sudden I hear this, after the big one, I'm like, oh, they
Could have been a young one.
have a bantam, well, he's still, I walk this dog frequently, and I mean, I should not probably be, well, we got roosters all over town. But anyway, I will go to Michael. We have done our due diligence. I really feel good about this now.
Yes, okay.
I
Or to just
wonder,
make a suggestion.
Yeah.
Board of Health, their next meeting is gonna be February 26th.
thank
So you
you.
have pretty much this whole month to reach out to them and to see if they want that on their agenda.
Okay, so Matt, you're gonna take care of the DPW?
Yep, I'm gonna reach out. to
Thank
Glenn
you.
And,
I'll reach out to Michael and just
And I'll
have a little
send you,
15
I will send
minute
you
chat with him.
the Massachusetts regulations, zoning regulations, and the Mass
Everything,
Farm Bureau
all that good
suggestions.
stuff you had.
Yeah,
All you have to
So
do is
I
go
would
to
like
Bingville.
to-
Mass Department of Agriculture is over there.
I called the Mass,
Well, there's one right in Greenfield.
I would,
Oh, MDR. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And what they said is, no one in Boston cares about farming in Massachusetts.
Oh,
I know.
Well, that's,
well, we,
They all get their food at the grocery store.
could I give some time to Sid
Sure.
to speak about why she's here and what she's doing?
Oh,
Can
yeah.
I give you some, we don't have too much time. I want to give
Okay.
you some time.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Sid St. John. I live at 138 Highland Avenue, over by Highland Park. And on February 20th, I'm going to the ZBA for a public hearing for a special permit for the operation of a cut flower farm on my property, which is just over 2.5 acres, maybe 2.75. Yes.
Have you looked at the Massachusetts laws? Because they do
Yes.
have they have a 2 acre inclusion.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. So.
Depending on what you're doing. They do.
Yeah, absolutely. So in order to secure a DBA, in order to operate as Nettle Point Farm and not just as myself, I have to get a special permit in Greenfield. So I'll be there on February 20th, basically just to let everybody know that what I'm trying to do, which is cut flowers. I'd love to be at the Greenfield Farmers Market. I'm within my rights just as a resident. I don't need a special permit to put a farm stand on my property, so I'd like to do that. And I'd like to sell at, places like Greenfield's Market, places like Atlas, really market myself a little bit more than I can just as an individual. And I'll be there to answer any questions and concerns that anybody might have. 138 Highland Avenue.
No.
Oh, right here.
Oh, here.
Right
Yep.
here.
What's the meeting for? Which,
It's the
It's a
zoning board of
ZBA.
appeals.
Yeah.
Yep.
do you have an email? Because I should send you that.
I do, yeah, let me,
Oh, that would be cool.
Because I should send that too, because you may actually not need to get a permit. I'm not 100% sure how that's worded now.
okay, so
The zoning used to be 5 acres or more. It's now includes 2 acres or more if you're selling.
okay. So I've been in discussion with Eric Twarog and also the gentleman who handles the DBAs specifically. And so he directed me to the zoning board.
Okay,
Through the zoning board, I applied for the special permit and I'm doing the,
do not need it.
okay, that would be really great.
One question.
Yeah, of course.
Are you gonna have to build any greenhouses, storage facilities? I mean, that goes through whatever hoops are set up in the town for a
Yes,
building permit.
absolutely.
And that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, so I do have plans on the 10-year scale to install 1 high tunnel. And I would like to include a refrigerated shed. This is just the application. That's what I submitted. Yes, exactly, for storage of the cut flowers. But everything that I'm doing is obviously I'm at the top of the hill, so I'm really
How many
concerned.
copies of this do you have?
That's all I brought, but I've
Okay,
actually
never
made,
mind.
I've made it available.
Just know that we have
For
this.
everything Greenfield, and it's available on the town website, and I've
Oh,
tried
it is,
to,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's got my phone number on there too, so if you have any reason to reach out, I would love to hear from you with any questions and concerns. But I'm at the top of the hill, so obviously erosion is my main concern. So because of that, everything is very low till. I want to keep all the roots holding the dirt snug to the earth, and I don't spray any pesticides, although, oh my gosh, when I'm hand picking bugs off of my zinnias, I will tell you, I really would like to spray sometimes, but I don't. And there's a lot of concern about high nitrite levels in that area in the soil, so I don't use any
This is
chemical
what you need to be
fertilizers.
looking at right there.
Okay.
Chapter, it does say 2 acres.
Okay, that's wonderful.
That's new.
Mhm.
That's within the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years.
Okay, that's awesome.
So
Good
look
to know.
that up and see if you fall under that 2 acre.
Perfect.
Because you're 2.5, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good. That half acre makes a difference.
It does.
And I just want to say welcome. I don't know where you moved, or if you live in Greenfield.
I was in Detroit. Yes.
Welcome to Greenfield. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
same.
coming here and doing this and going down the right avenues and making Greenfield a greener place to live.
Yeah, I mean, that's really
know?
my hope is, I
get
really
fine.
love, all my neighbors on Highland Avenue. I think everyone's really friendly and I just, my yard for the longest time is, first of all, I'm not a tidy gardener. It's not a tidy garden. I know it's been stressful for everybody to walk past and stressful to see the works in progress. And before that, it was literally just invasive species like bittersweet and sumac
Oh.
choking up against the road. I just keep pulling.
Well-
Every summer I keep pulling.
Unless you want to sell bittersweet wreaths, I think it's invasive.
You need the master
Well, that's my
law.
opinion.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Actually, I let it grow on my property in Huntington.
Yeah,
Whatever,
so-
that was my property.
Yeah, my number one goal is just, I have this property and I know everybody walks their dog up there and I just want to make it into something that's like nice for people to walk past and can be like a happy and contributing part of the community. Like,
Nice.
I want every person who takes their partner on a date to go hiking in Highland Park to come by and buy flowers from me. Like, I think that was
Lovely.
So-
Okay. So, thank you for letting us know about
Thank
that.
you for having me.
Welcome to Greenfield and bringing a little more green into this thing. So good.
I'm cheering in 2 or 3 weeks if you want more wool.
I will hit you up. I definitely do. Thank you.
Okay, we have some commonalities here. Wonderful. So the meeting is adjourned.
Oh, you have to have a motion.
Oh,
I move to adjourn the meeting.
I second. Third. I love you. You guys are so, I love, I couldn't do this.
I was
The meeting is adjourned.